PC Gamer here at PAX South with Spencer from VirZOOM. How you doing, Spencer?
Doing great.
So, tell me what you guys make.
So we make a specialized virtual reality controller that happens to look a lot like a stationary bike. So as you can see, we have some sensors in the bike that track your pedaling speed. So the faster you pedal in the real world, the faster you go in the game. We have some action buttons and triggers on the handlebars for advanced gameplay. And then we make all these different types of games. So we're showing off 3 today. You get to lasso some bandits, race a race car, and fly a pegasus.
And so just to be clear, you make a stationary bike that makes you move in VR.
Correct. So we call it a specialized VR controller, but you are doing a lot of pedaling, a lot of body movement, and so you're moving proportionate to your experience in VR, so you're really powering your own experience.
So there's already been a lot of discussion about VR's price tag. When an Oculus announced how its price is $600, a lot of people were skeptical about that. So who do you see a controller like this for?
Great question. So I think that'll evolve over time. Early on, we think it'll be the early adopters and VR enthusiasts. So if you are buying an Oculus or you're buying a Vive or a PlayStation VR, those are the 3 headsets we'll run on. We think we're a great way, one, to move through large virtual worlds. So we're making our own games. We see other developers that are going to be using our SDK and Unity to make games, and so you'll have dozens of arcade-style games you can move through. And so if in any huge VR world that you want to move through on your own power and sort of at your own pace, you can do that on VirZOOM. And so we see tech enthusiasts, early adopters, and then down the road, I think when we have maybe a second generation product that's more high end for the fitness market, you could see hardcore fitness enthusiasts riding through the Swiss Alps in VR or training in VR.
So you don't just see it as something like Wii Fit, where it's like a fitness thing. You see it actually just as a controller, a way to move.
Yeah, so I think we've sort of 2 aspects to our secret sauce. The first half is the controller, and the other thing we spent a lot of time on, our co-founder Eric Malafie was the chief architect at Harmonix, so Guitar Hero, Rock Band, Dance Central, and he spent almost a year working on these specialized motion controls of how we move you in the world. So in the virtual world, when you're flying, you feel good and you feel great. And yeah, so we see the early adopters of VR really enjoying this from a gaming perspective, sort of like the Wii or Dance Dance Revolution. And then we also see sort of like health, wellness, and fitness side effects from playing those games.
And so one of the things that was oddly absent for me was there wasn't a biking game in your stationary bike controller. Why no biking game? Why horses and Pegasus?
So that's a question we always get. I think it's a fair question. So when we were doing some internal testing very, very early on, we looked at a bike, and one of the things we realized is people know exactly what it feels like to ride a bike in the real world. And so no matter how good we are with our software, it's always going to be slightly different than what it would feel like. And there's a lot of micro movements riding a bike. And so for that reason, different things like flying a Pegasus, you may think you know what it feels like, but trust me, you don't exactly know what it feels like. And the other thing is, what's so cool about VR is you can be whatever you want to be, wherever you want to be it. And so we wanted to create these fantastical experiences. So a couple other games we're working on, you're a tank commander and you're a tank in battle, and it's online multiplayer. We have one where you're flying a helicopter and you're sort of in like a war zone. We have one where you're a fairy in this magical garden, majestic garden, and you're pollinating flowers. We have all these different games we're working on. And I think we wanted to take it in a different direction, which wasn't as sort of, you see a bike and people think fitness, and we wanted to say these are games, they're fun games, they're a fun way to experience VR.
And so last thing, you know this is like crazy, right?
We absolutely know, we're out of our minds, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. So thanks very much for showing it off for me and letting me ride that thing, and be sure to stay tuned at PCGamer.com for more from PAX South.